chirp, 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 chirp. Hi, everybody.
Oh, Oscar.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Here we go.
Oscar.
Hi, everybody. How you
Oh,
doing?
I call you from afar. Will this message reach your heart? How I long to be with you. And now in. Welcome to another exciting Swiss match in the Lali-Ho League. I'm Commander Leonhardt, and joining the lovely FF4FE We have Tybalt tracking the race, and Solaris on restream as EiKlopfer squares on Guerin. They'll each be hoping to keep their chances at making the next stage alive with a win tonight. Oscar,
Yeah.
how do you feel about this start?
I'm sorry, I'm distracted by objective number 5, which is get the
That's
greatest
valid.
character
By the
in the
start
game.
character.
Oh, Bork, the starting character. We have an N-word objective, ladies and gentlemen. Also, yeah, this is purple. But Commander, you know what's going to happen. You know what they're going to find. Do you know what I'm going to say?
I'm hoping for a spoon start myself.
Aw. All right, answer a question in chat. Are the wonderful Solaris is our restreamer, and they will be rolling this beautiful set. But yeah, we've got an awesome objective and a objective with get Edward and defeat Baigan respectively. In addition to our 3 standard ones of completing the Twin Harp, we have the Forge using the Adamant Sword, or Adamant G-Bus, and the Legend Sword, and trading away the Pinktail. And you have to complete 4 of those 5 to get the wonderful crystal and take out Z. So this could be very rude, and this could be very, hopefully not rude. Tough to say.
Yeah, never can tell, especially with Baigan. I mean, a boss hunt is bad enough, but there are some spots where he's just downright brutal to deal with, and you'd almost rather just deal with the other 4 objectives.
Yeah, agreed. It's Baigan is just the complete question mark in this grouping of objectives. I mean, and it also depends on your team. Like there are Quake strats if Baigan's in a really fast spot, so you can just keep quacking until the arms disappear and recover, and then quack again. So, but if you don't have that, it's like, this is awkward. But yeah, it's I'm really curious to see where that Baigan is in this seed for sure.
And it wouldn't be a Cecil seed without best Cecil weapon of all, Crystal Sword. And we can fight about what should be done with that if it shows up.
You mean the Piggy Sword? oh, that's right. Suhiro isn't on. Heck.
Oh, it's not. Maybe next time.
But that Cecil on there, as we're starting right now, that definitely is screaming to our runners to go to ordeals at some points, because that Dark Ignite Cecil is
Ooh.
Well.
Oh, Solaris, you're speaking my language. Get a date night start.
Here's what's fun, though, ladies and gentlemen. That blue robe, that is either a very easy fight you don't want to see in such an easy location with the Water Hag, or a very annoying set of 5 fights with the Alt Gauntlet that you actually would kind of want to see there because it is an easier location. But that starting item, it's required for objective 3, but that could be rudeness because that might be a hook route start.
Possible good and bad news with that hook start. Good news, you found your Baigan. Bad news, he's at King Queen Ebony.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if our runners actually ran to get the hovercraft, which they're doing right now in Damsian, because the nice thing about that hook is that we can actually get a free character. It's technically a gated character. Ooh, hello, elements. And the rare red robe. So it looks like it is a pool party going on over there. But that hook is, it gives you a free character instead of having to fight for one, which, since it's gated, it could have potential to be a slightly better starting character.
Yeah, we've got the normal C standard flag on, so Edge and Fu can only show up gated behind a key item, so we have that chance for one of those two to be in Evelyn. Now, Edge isn't as solid as he once was, thanks to Neki, but you still don't hate him early. Who, however, is every bit as wonderful as he always is.
Yep, no matter how much or how little clothing is on the mop, that wonderful beard of his definitely means he can do work. But what's another interesting thing about Neki is that in addition to having no clothes whatsoever and being awkward, you get a random starting weapon that fits within a certain characteristic of tiers. It could be the silver staff like Rosa has, it could be a set of bows and arrows, it could be charm arrows, which would be really good to see. Unfortunately, our knight does not start with the black sword, which would have given him a huge power boost. But nothing's perfect.
No, definitely. Can have everything. We're having a little bit of divergence. EiKlopfer's going to take a look at that character, while Guerin's going to take a quick run into Antlion Cave and finds a heroine robe. Okay.
Yeah, that Rosa is going to be untouchable now. That heroine robe has been doing work for pretty much every runner that has found it and has had a female character. It tanks their magic capability, but it jacks up essentially their durability, their physicality. Rosa has now become a self-rescuing princess at this point in time.
No damsel in distress, she. Klopfer's doing a little bit of looting in Evelyn Cave, risking the stalemain, and is rewarded with a ribbon.
There's some really nice starting items here. Now, it will be noted that outside of trap chest, actually, well,
I do believe that, all right, somebody in chat was asking for this. You can blame them, Oscar. Where is it?
So there's no character in the hook route, but we did see a sparkle. I'm pulling the possum defense. There is no character. So that sparkle tells you that there is some lunar boss that's in the ruby spot. And everybody in chat is rooting for, well, hopefully everybody in chat is rooting for the wonderfully evil Ogopogo in that spot. I'm pretty sure our runners will see that sparkle and go, nope. Oh, speaking of nope, let's see here.
This answers the mystery. The water hag is... means we have an ult gauntlet waiting in Guerin.
And unfortunately, seeing the water hag here in such an early spot is, well, really disappointing. You kind of hope for water hag to be somewhere else. It's a 3-punch and done. Yay. So this will be a relatively quick fight aside from the obligatory dialogue. We will see what is in Antlion today very shortly.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You definitely prefer to find water hag in a ruder location than this.
Now, what's interesting for both EiKlopfer and Guerin is they have both found something that pretty much makes any mage they're going to go up against kind of a pushover, with the mute dagger picked up out of a chest on Klopfer's side and the rune axe coming from Assassin. And, well, heck, here's another mute arrow too with charm. All right, so we have the anti-mage arsenal already put together.
It's a very good point. There are probably more mages than any other type of boss hanging around in the boss pool, and being able to deal quadruple damage to them with a weapon can make or break a lot of different fights that you make across, say, Asura or Baron Guards.
Or Element Ruby, I think, or just Elements.
You are correct. Ruby in the Elements fight, specifically.
I know you like one Rosa. How about 2 Roses?
I mean...
Fair.
More interesting?
That's one way of putting it. Also, the Klopfer did find some coffins in the shops, which is fantastic for a grind. If they can find sirens somewhere in this, that makes grinding so much easier. Just any non-boss or any enemy with a non-boss bit, just use the coffin and bleh, dead. But one thing I did want to mention, and Commander, you can fill in the chat of why I think this would be hilarious. I personally, and I love rolling rune seeds. I've done it once or twice. Thank you, bot or race bot generator.
Maybe.
I don't want to see Ogopogo at the Ruby spot. I want to see Wyvern. Why would that be hilarious?
Well, that has the potential to be hilarious if our runners commit to it. The reason that it's so funny is that Wyvern is not allowed to, can't be forced to go through Wyvern to go underground. Might be an option, but he can't be the option. If that were to be a Wyvern Sparkle, that would mean that our runners, if they remember that fact, know that they missed a magma key somewhere. And if they missed a magma key, they might have cut a check short, particularly if it's opened up by something, or it could be demissed in a very out of the way spot. We know already that demist isn't in Waterfall, but there are still a few out of the way options.
Yeah, there's always the ever willed and hoped demist at Magus Sisters, which is the first boss fight in Zot, because most runners won't go to Zot until they have the Earth Crystal, or it could be behind maybe a chain of items, depending on what our runners get. So I would love to see a really rude Ruby or Eve King Queen spot, and then Wyvern shows up and it's like, oh, heck.
If a Wyvern does show up, Guerin is coming up with some gear to deal with it. Bolt's letting us know that they found a dragon whip to go along with that arrowing rope. I realize that you don't want to hear this, but dragon whip, quadruple damage versus nasty dragons like wyverns, and arrow and robe, boosting it up.
Fine. I'll and then I'll just laugh at the fact that Final Fantasy IV is a very well designed video game, and a lot of the dragons are not dragons, and some of them that aren't dragons are totally dragons because logic. If logic was what they wanted with Final Fantasy IV, I would not be doing commentary right now. End of discussion.
Haildim is a dragon. Iron is a dragon. Bahamut, the palette swap, not a dragon.
That's not a dragon.
2 of Dark Elf, dragon.
It's like perfectly making sense since never. But it's interesting to see our runners kind of.
Dragon.
Everything is coming up dragon. But it is interesting to see our runners kind of rubber band between each other. So we'll see, once they've each done each other's checks, we can head back in and see where they're going to next. Again, I kind of want to see, I'm waiting for the Ordeals play. It's, I don't know if we found any decent Cecil items. Definitely nothing worth selling.
I think the mute knife is the best thing we found for Cecil so far, which is a desperate commentary, but unless you're planning on ditching Cecil, and on this flag set I don't recommend that at all, then you're going to want to make the Ordeals soon.
Even with no tier 7 items in, or there's pretty much you can only find tier 7 items in, I think, trap chests. Are bosses allowed to drop tier 7? I know the treasury got into the ground, so but yeah, there's less spots for a tier 7 item, which would be a crystal sword, aka printed money the sword.
As quarter printed money, that flagged on.
Still printed money, it's just 25% less printed money. There's always a drain sword, and I think one of our runners did pick up the drain sword, so what's up? So let's see here. We have some the true final boss.
That'll work.
There we go.
Actually, yeah, as far as Cecil weapons, I forgot about the rune axe hanging out in Antline. That's legitimate. Either of those axes, you'll probably want to center slot Cecil if you're willing to have him serve as your agility anchor, which is fine in early checks. That rune axe suffers from low accuracy, and getting a 25% boost to your accuracy for being in the middle is helpful.
So, as both my runners are high-fiving and having a chat, where is it? In Fabul. I have a legitimate question for once in my life. that I kind of just forgot. Oh, so back row glitching Cecil with certain axes. Can you do that in the DKC form, or do you have to wait until he becomes a pretty boy paladin?
I gotta wait because I don't believe DKC can equip a dwarf axe. Is the issue. I think there's anything that DKC is capable of equipping that would glitch him.
Fair. Charm heart for Yang, though, for sure. And to answer your question, chat, no, the neither sprite is the vanilla Rosa sprite, although my favorite Rosa sprite is currently the blue one, and the anti-favorite sprite is the pink one, so we have both good and bad roses here. But I'm also someone that's my favorite color. Pink's my least favorite color, so hush. Also, swag Choco for the win. Not quite.
Well, if anyone ever back row glitches a DKC, that sounds like the ultimate swag.
Yeah, it's called put him in the back row and deal with the least amount of damage. Potato.
I mean, I this is somebody just doing something for memes. I love a good meme, but I might be taking it a little too.
Yeah, back row glitching a DKC would be a little too dark for me. But anywho, with a
definitely a strategy that belongs on the back.
Beyond a shadow of a doubt, totally. But our runners are finishing for Bull at effectively the same time, even though EiKlopfer got there a little bit earlier. Guerin, I believe, used a J item to pick up the pace a little bit, and we see our runners get we get a sealed cave access with the Luca key.
Which is a better item than it is in some other flag sets because we don't have the warp glitch on for this tournament. So if you want to fish the item out of the sealed cave, you're going to have to make the wall.
But that combination of the wind spear and dancing dagger in Fabul, that's they're selling them too. That's awesome. I can't talk for a little bit, Commander.
Bygone in Evil Wall spot in the Fey March, yeah, most things are nasty into the Evil Wall spot. Or wait, the Evil Wall spot in the Sealed Cave, my bad. Still, much like the Fey March spot for King of Fey March, it's fast and it hits hard and it doesn't mess around. So yeah, Bygone at the bottom of Sealed Cave would be rude.
Tasia, to answer your question, I was going to comment on our runners finding the wind spear and the dancing dagger in the Fabul chests, and they walked into the weapon shop to find the wind spear and the dancing dagger also for sale in Fabul. But in terms of free pickups, though, Guerin has found something very, very useful, and actually so has EiKlopfer. Guerin went and checked the summon on the west side of Mount Hobbs and found the Sylph summon. So Rydia is actually going to be useful for a change once she hits like 25 MP.
Yeah, because we also have the Sylph glitch on, which means that 99% of the time, casting Sylph with Rydia will be free. The time it'll actually cost you MP is if you leave her in the anchor spot, or if it misses because you casted it demist in mist form, something like that.
Another thing that's going to be free for EiKlopfer is agility anchoring, because EiKlopfer has found the curse ring in the town that doesn't exist in my brain because I always forget about it, Mysidia. They also found cabins, star veils. That was a really good shopping outing for EiKlopfer.
Yeah. If you need to keep your party at relative agility 1 other than your anchor, and I'll pause that explanation to note that Bygone has been located.
And
terribly
it's got some HP, so that might be a little annoying. However, using that Stardust definitely helps get rid of some of that.
Yeah, the spot's slow is what makes it not too scary. It's gonna hit hard whenever he gets around to taking a turn, but that might be a little while.
And I'm allowed.
But as far as the first frame, if you're going to keep everyone in the party other than your anchor acting at maximum speed for a lot of the later fights, you're gonna need somebody very slow for your anchor. And your choices are a first ring to slow them down, or not let somebody level, which kind of sad, frankly. Sometimes you just do what you can.
What's also sad is the amount of rudeness people treat Eddie with, which is why I am rude to. Well, it's not the reason I'm rude to Rydia, but give Eddie love to. But Guerin has defeated Vigan and is awarded with. Now this is interesting. That rat tail can be a key.
Oh.
It can also be a sellable sword. It could be a few different things. But it could also be things like, oh, I don't know, the magma key, the pink tail, which is an objective. So I would be surprised if Guerin didn't immediately go check that.
The hook start rat tail is a freebie. Need to be picked up with no effort. Check your freebies.
And another no effort fight is, Klopfer side of Mount Deals. We have, a DKC fighting a DKC with 2 roses, and then Rydia is there to be the awkward fifth wheel. But justice is not the only answer anymore.
I'm not sure what this answer is, frankly. It does sound awkward.
Only Zool. But for Guerin, it's a pass. That rat tail does give us Z access, so if every single objective can be completed on the planet, Guerin technically doesn't have to ever go set foot on the moon now. Or they don't have to do the walk of shame as they go fight Z eventually.
Yeah, Edward could be on the moon immediately on the dais, but Cave Magnus is completed on Earth, local forging is completed on Earth, and so is trading away the Pinktail. So there's odds are overwhelming that when the runners receive their crystal, they will be on Earth, and pass saves the trip back up and the long walk down. So if you are unfortunate enough to have a rude Z fight where you need to fight multiple times, saving right outside of Troya to give it another go is convenient.
Now this is a spicy ordeals item with the ever fun Darkness Crystal. So as we
dragon.
Are we sure that one's a dragon? Can we confirm dragon status? Rydia.
Well, if somebody was willing to swing with Dragon Whip instead of parrying, we could confirm it. But hey, do what you got to do.
But that Darkness Crystal does give us access to a Lunar shop and another free character on the Lunar dais. I always hope for a moon word because I'm a horrible person that inflicts pain on people. But yeah, that should be very interesting. You could also potentially, if you really want to be cheeky, check maybe like a cave value. See if you can find things like, oh, I don't know, King Queen of Evelyn, which is a completely free fight on the moon in like your teens or like level single digits. Not that I've experienced that before.
Yeah, a moon dive at this level, barring something OP like a Foo on the dais of Vanilla Foo, would be a very bold and aggressive play. You could spend a lot of time if looking for that free fight that you need to get through, and even so, it might have no value other than just the XP. But if you find something there, you have to feel really good. You have to feel like you have something that your opponent probably doesn't.
Agreed. And the other thing to think about with that Darkness Crystal is, guess what? You have access to the entire game. So now the sweating begins. It's a lot easier in the beginning to just kind of follow your normal checks, proceed as normal. But once you have, you almost have to fight the paralysis of choice. It's like, okay, I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. Oh, heckin' fluff. There are so many choices. I don't know what to do anymore. So it'll be very interesting to see how our runners deal with that little bit of panic.
It's true. You want to freak some runners out early on. Even the runners that have been doing this for a long while. Give them a darkness crystal to start. See how they react.
Yeah, that is arguably probably one of the rudest starting items or early acquired items. I don't know. People in chat want to shout out their agreement or the hey commentators. What are you talking about? Now, we noted that the magma key for the easy underground access can be on the moon, but it's not like you don't have to go to the moon to go underground in this flag set. There is a specific flag that has to be turned on for that. We don't have to worry about it.
Sure don't. So, no worries there.
And again, they're I find it interesting that our runners are essentially kind of like DNA stranding this seed right now. It's like there's divergence and then there's convergence and there's
Like the metaphor. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Had a lot of different choices, but they're more or less, like you say, they get back to each other after a little bit. So,
shout out to my fellow sign.
Nothing too severe.
As mentioned in chat by Mournblade, I can't remember if it was Possum or somebody else that said always never haunted.
Sounds right. Sounds like something Possum would say.
But something I usually tend to say right around this time, at least to start off, is although Commander and I, well, y'all are stuck listening to us for the next X amount of time, but we're just here to sit on our chairs or stand and talk. The true people that are shining are the people behind the scenes, making everything look pretty and light up and stuff. So we do have our fantastic restreamer Solaris. Words are hard today. Yay, the weekend. Solaris is rolling this fantastic seed, and Tybalt is doing tracking, which I believe for this week, it's been a lot of firsts for Tybalt. First time on comms, I believe this is their first time tracking too, so he's joined the dark side. Now I just have to convince him to start restreaming. That is the true dark side.
One of us, Tybalt. One of us.
Hey, you still need to restream too. Every once in a while, they take the shackles off, and I get to come out of the basement and talk on stream. So. And then once I do that, they promptly go, "Oh no, you go back down there." Chain, which I'm totally cool with. But yeah, they're fantastic. Give them some love. Give some love to our runners, EiKlopfer and Guerin. They're doing a fantastic job. And this, as mentioned before the race started, this is a big one for them. This is an elimination match, so one will still be in the running, and unfortunately, one will not be able to acquire enough points to move out of Swiss. So, seriously, good luck and Godspeed to both of these runners. Excuse me.
Well, that being said, whoever loses is still more than welcome to continue to play out their matches.
Heck yeah!
Your matches, you don't have to run away and not be scheduled for anything. So, free to keep on going and have fun.
And for you out there, yes, you specifically, I'm pointing at you. If you want more info about either the LHL, the tournament that's going on right now, or just free enterprise in general, like if you're new to it, if you want to meet friends, make enemies, find your spoon words, learn to embrace the card, sell a crystal sword, what have you. We have a Discord, we have a website, we have multiple websites. They are fantastic resources to anyone and everyone. And if you're new, that's cool. We'd love to have you. We accept people from all skill sets because, again, if they didn't accept people from all skill sets, I wouldn't be here right now. Hashtag I'm bad. But check out all those sites. It's some great information for anybody that's interested. And I think we're seeing duo
Love you, Oscar.
whales here.
Yes, we have 4 of wishes on both sides. The DNA strand has come back together, and both of our runners will at least be heading up to check the character, and hopefully they'll get a hold of that gated shop too. On S standard, the gated shops can have our lovely tier 5 items. The ones that are usually in high demand are coffins and sirens and bacchuses and hourglass.
This is going to be a bit of a stretch on this one, but would you say that seeing the 2 lunar whales would be a breach of contract in terms of 1 whale at a time?
You sure that Raka hasn't been coaching you lately? I mean...
I did do comms with him recently, too.
Well, that explains. We do have the sirens in the moon shop.
Grind acquired.
Sirens will, when used, give you the rarest encounter for an area, and there are a few areas that give encounters that are very useful in terms of their ease to defeat and the XP they give. Your choice will depend on what sort of gear you have to what's most efficient.
But we get to see today's Lunar Deus character is played by...
Vanilla.
Commander, if you
It's
please.
our third dose of vanilla. Vanilla Cecil, vanilla Baron Guards. Now we have a vanilla Foo.
I don't see a foo, I just see a mop. Now, what's interesting about this wonderful mop is he doesn't come fully kitted to the nines just yet. We do have the Fusoya challenge on, which is every single time you beat a boss, he gets like 100 or so HP or something, or technical stuff that I...
Exactly 100, yes.
Perfect. So 100 HP and 3 spells. So what we need to find out is what spells does our Foo currently have? If our Foo already has Nuke, hey, we're good. Or Quake, or Fire, or White, or Cure. Or you could just have only like level 1 spells, Hope and a Dream. But
a fair amount of boss fighting makes that ordeal clear. So Foo should be on his way. May not be at Nuke yet. The order that he gets the spells is somewhat shuffled, but still also somewhat random. Nuke tends to be later in the list, but sometimes you can get it 3/4 of the way through.
So it's no surprise that EiKlopfer is immediately going down the hook route for this one. Having that Foo, even without the mega super awesome cool ultra spells, that's still a level 50 Foo. Ooh, please check my chest, please. Oh, you're past. Oh, that's my treasure chest. Don't come back. I like checking that one. I has a sad now.
Time to loot, Oscar. Gotta go, go, go.
I don't care. I want to see what's in that treasure chest.
The theme with a lot of people practicing is making the most out of this T Wildish loot. There's a lot of places that can give you a lot of good things, but you have to recognize when you've likely got what you need and whether something is going to give you anything useful. I mean, taking chests, opening them up, takes time in and of itself, but you also really, the problem is that you risk incurring the wrath of the inventory boss.
Well, that's actually probably a sigh of relief on Guerin's side. That evil wall on the king queen spot is not good. So that's one. It might seem a little weird that Guerin's taking that fight, but it could be for 2 reasons. 1, to get Foo a few more spells, and 2, the Myth Cave has a surprising amount of really good loot there. Ooh, Berserk and Exit. That is super useful.
Definitely. And Mist Cave, like Watery Pass, falls into out-of-the-way rules, and thus gets a bump in loot to compensate for that. A bit of divergence in the parties, whereas Klopfer held on to double Rosa when picking up Fu. Guerin's going for a little more diversity in his camp.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if Guerin ever found the curse ring for purchase, so I'm not sure what they're going to do in terms of anchoring. But quick looking to the left side of our screen, we do know what our king-queen spot is, and that is a dark elf. Really not terribly threatening-ish. Once dark elf says, "Me, change," and turns into the slightly dirtier pale dim, dark elf loses its boss bit. So a simple, well, weak spell and a bonk from anything that isn't like a lit one, and then dark elf's dead. So it's not so bad. Ooh, it does look like Guerin is going.
These here aren't too overwhelming in the first place, so weak's nice, but might not even be necessary. We'll see if Klopfer goes that route, or just goes for the raw damage output.
Yeah, because this spot, although it's fast and it punch, it's not high on the HP totals, if I remember correctly.
Exactly. Off the top of my head, I don't know the exact number, but it's definitely less than 10.
I'm gonna take a stab and say it's 8,000. I'm
Believe you.
hoping I'm right. I have no idea. don't act like I know what I'm doing here. I'm only here for the memes.
Like, I would have guessed 8 or 9 myself, but I don't know.
Fighting evil wall at this spot, it usually feels like around 80, so I kind of just carried the one. Infinity is 6k normally, Slayer is about 8,000, so yeah, we'll say about that. But
Down goes
your...
repeated applications of fire.
Okay, is that Dark Elf a dragon or not?
Only in the second form is Dark Elf a dragon.
Alright. Word... Oh, I was about to say. Word to the wise. If there is a sparkle and you don't know what that sparkle is, save your game. I've seen far too many instances.
Word to the wise.
Which is funny because I'm the one saying
In
it.
this situation, if you're about to get a full heal, might have done.
Here's where I'd love to see Ogopogo, but I want to see Wyvern because I will start cackling. Ah.
These Lunars!
Womp womp. Yeah, chat, no cackling for you.
Sad.
But this fight can be done in a couple different ways. One, you could just straight up power overwhelming this if you're able to. The other way is through essentially attrition, and I've seen a mention of a lunar frog with a really adorable frog emote. Can you explain what that is, Commander?
Glad to. So, after a few rounds of fire and going punch, the Lunars will use breath, which, if you're familiar with the Final Fantasy series, you know that it inflicts every status in the game, which normally you could never hit a boss with. But if it's bounced off a Star Veil such that it's coming from a boss, it bypasses that immunity, and voila, you have lunar frogs.
All in all, they're just frogs hitting a wall.
You don't need no education.
It's froggy.
Frog control.
Oh, these... I like how the dealers go from like, rawr, IR skull dragon to froggy.
Well, Tybalt, the thing that is special about frogs is they're completely unthreatening. They can't use virus, which is the reason you don't want to use fight on D-levels. They take much more physical damage, and they quit using fire, and when they do get around to punching you, it's really just a tickle. It is, yeah, they're just no threat at all.
And interesting on Guerin's side, they have found the Mad Ogre's chest, so that is... I believe they've got... Yeah, they picked up the rune axe. They do have items that are able to just completely erase the Mad Ogres off of the face of the overworld, because when you look at the Mad Ogre and you see the Mad Ogre and you think about the Mad Ogre, you immediately think, oh, they're mages. If you did, you are smart. Or you... But at 37 minutes and 22-ish plus or minus seconds, EiKlopfer has defeated the Lunar Froggos, and they are going underground.
Nice. You completely understand Guerin taking this chest. You see a sparkle, you brace for rudeness, and you give yourself a little more XP to help out. Yeah, Solaris, Leviathan has enough punch. A lot of rude magic resistance.
Trolled. Commander, I just got trolled hard. I saw Crystal and I was all set to go. Game, why you do this? Why you do this?
Jumping the gun. Welcome everyone from RPG Limit Break. Thanks for coming by. We've got a lovely Lali-Ho League match for you. Stick around and watch if you're not familiar with Free Enterprise. Ask questions in chat. Chat will explain. We'll do our best to explain too. Speaking of explaining, that might not have been the crystal you wanted to see, but crystal ring is a fantastic item. It has incredible physical and magical defense. It adds 5 to a character's agility. It also provides resistance against paralyze, lightning, and those are dragons we keep talking about.
Yeah, but it's not worth selling at a quarter of the price like a different crystal. Meanwhile, Dark Elf is craving some bacon right now. We've got 2 piggies on Guerin's side. And shout out to Scala for making, and I think it was Scala that did the palettes for these. The piggies are different colors and they have different snouts, and they're so cute when they walk.
Guess what, Oscar? Guess what? Get more vanilla!
Are you going to ask the question? Oh, yeah, it is vanilla. I was getting distracted by... Oh, there's a third piggy. I was getting distracted by piggies. Ask the 3-word question.
Is this even?
It's like Solaris. I know Solaris knows that they can jumble things up a hair, which is interesting. But speaking of Froggos, so you probably won't see it here because Foo is Foo and Foo does Foo things. If you need to take out Calbrenna in a really tough spot and you have a mage that has the frog spell, cast it on all of them, because the red dolls have the boss bit. The blue dolls do not. So if you cast frog, the back 3 turn into frogs and the front 3 just take damage. Or you can just fire 3 and have your way with them. But if you take out the three dolls in front, the back frog dolls will just keep on trying to turn into Calbrenna, and they can't because they're Froggos. So the frog spell, surprisingly powerful. Oh, it'll say it's transforming to Calbrenna.
If you still have 3 frogs out there, they will each try and fail to turn into Calbrenna. Although if it's a spot where the boss music changes, the music will still change. It might freak you out a little bit. Trust us, it works.
Tell me more, Commander. Sortie, our runners have found Atella in Dwarf Castle. And they're fighting I almost said DMs. DMs, same difference. They're fighting Dark Imps. They don't have the boss bit, but Fu is just going to do Fu things and quack everything.
Yeah. Quick them down. Thing to see here. Move along. Just go down the hole. You don't push the button. Wait, no, Tybalt pushes the buttons.
You can easily sign up for tracking too.
It's one theory.
I'm just saying.
Speaking of alternate theories, Guerin has killed enough bosses to take on these D-Lunars with Nuke, so I might not even see Froggy Strats over there. You just might go straight for not take you out.
Yeah, especially with, well, and you can use non-fight commands to not trigger the wall, so the script can still happen. I mean, if you use the fight command, it's going to turn into a party over on Guerin's side, much like it's actually turned into a party on EiKlopfer's side with the Earth Crystal.
Yeah, that max tier 6 you alluded to has got a lot of runners don't rate the treasury anymore because again, it's that thing of, is it worth your time? The time you get there, maybe it is, maybe it's not. With EiKlopfer, I'm honestly not sure if I would take a run at the treasury. Probably would. I'm not liking just a rune axe on Cecil, and I'd find something nice in the way of another ring or a ribbon or something. But I can see it going either way, honestly.
I don't know if you saw the shop in Dwarf Castle. That was stacked. A crystal armor, which meant a heron robe. I think I saw a black shirt, maybe another crystal ring. There was a cat claw. They picked up the wonderful thunderclaw from a pot. I mean, Dwarf Castle's got has the goods better than Sheila did in a match yesterday.
Of course, those claws are being immediately sold. So somebody does not plan on taking Edge or Yang if he finds him. This is going to check Job Dwarf first, so forgive him.
Yeah. Let's see if they are the true villain. Okay, there we go. A food preparation worker. C has been validated.
Nice.
Babyface has been confirmed. But yeah, that Odin the summon is kind of interesting for Klopfer because Odin, not really the most useful. I would personally sell it because, and not just because Rydia, but it's a nice chunk of change. But that being said, Guerin has
The
now.
only reason, surely not.
You're right, it's not going to call him Shirley. So Guerin is officially underground too, finding that wonderful pitfall at 44 minutes and 38 seconds. Meanwhile, we get to find out what's going on in the Fey March today.
Klopfer's definitely a little bit ahead now, but it's just a matter of making the right checks. Seed is still wide open, and both of our runners still need to find 3 more objectives, so it is definitely far too early to call this.
And you know what's interesting is a lot of the checks that we've done that have given key items haven't been the key items we need. They're rabbit hole the things. They're rabbit holes that lead to other key item checks.
Yeah, so once again, more options opening up for our runners. What call do you make? What checks are you most comfortable with? Where do you think you have your value?
You know, if I was a
make...
What?
That Ruby at in the Fey March, does that make you nervous, Oscar?
Me playing this seed makes me nervous. Me playing forever makes me nervous. I was actually more looking at that CPU. It's an annoying fight, but it's very scripted and it's very doable. This party could be a little interesting because that wall on the mother brain of the CPUs. But otherwise, in terms of what I do is I'd pretty much be following Klopfer's footsteps. I mean, they just got the tower key, so both those checks, including one of which is very free, is available. And probably once they finish that, I would get my freebie set up with Sheila. So I'd go say hi to a sleeping punch mage, tell him I sold all of his claws and I don't want you in my party. and then go talk to his wife, and hopefully she's got some goods. What about you?
Yeah. The concern with CPU is never whether you can beat it. CPU is beatable in just about any spot. It's just a matter of how much time you're going to spend on it. Sylph makes it a lot faster than normal because it will punch that wall. It's high enough hit points that if you don't have the damage, it could take a while. It's sort of falls into that maybe I check this in case the opponent didn't.
Is this Freeman?
I do agree with you. Normally I would say go straight to Sheila 1, but with a King Queen Evelyn and a Tower Key in hand, like even I'm willing to forgo a freebie just to get this out of the way.
Yeah, this is the freest of free fights. Even in like the lunar spots, King Queen Evelyn's magic is so bleh, it doesn't scare you. Even in a high magic spot on the moon, their magic is just set cool, like bonkers low. So they're going to cast some fire 1s, they're going to cast some fire 2s, then they're going to change color, and then they're going to evolve, and then they're going to, instead of bringing us down to the Hades, they're going to disappear and go down to the Hades. And you're not going to care because you've probably walked away and gotten a sandwich right now. But then you get freaked out.
Yeah, and Klopfer not even slowing things down with an attempt to deal the damage necessary. It's just letting the script play out, which is definitely the correct move here. In a little bit, we'll be finding what the reward is for the top of tower.
And it's a really nice influx of XP for this spot of sorts, so not bad. But that that is kind of awkward.
Yeah,
So,
and Hanzo's team. She gets sold.
What's interesting though is I saw the White Virus and Meteor. I mean, those are pretty good spells. The Virus probably the most useful in that group.
Agreed. The other two spells have a pretty long charge time, although we wanted a way to deal with that CPU, start charging up the Meteo, and by the time you got finished charging it, you might have dealt enough damage to the orb and takes it out.
I am so sad right now.
This could have been rude if with any other boss at top of tower.
The tower.
No, there's nothing worse than getting through a rough fight at top of tower, assuming that you can just waltz into the super cannon room and realizing that everyone is below half strength. That was not the case here, so this Nope Noodle is very, very tame.
Oh, it's not even really a fight, Ogo. It's just a boop, Ogo. You have all you have to do in this spot is just like 400 some HP, or like you just boop the snoot.
Fight, only boop.
No fight, only boop. Just walk up and go, boop. Dead.
Done.
Also, is Ogo a dragon or is Ogo a noodle? Which
Ogo does not have any sort of racial classification in Final Fantasy. It is simply Ogo.
Oh, and it wasn't a crystal ring, it was an iron ring, because those two are so similar. Don't mind me. But the rest of the shop so pretty soon we get to see what Klopfer gets for that snoot boop. And it is... Ooh.
Klopfer admitting to a single dip of sealed cave. It's going to exit the underground without that setup. And you are correct, Solaris. It was Blue Robe's start, and we've seen Water Hag in Antlion Cave. We know that it's an alt gauntlet in the bygone spot.
Though I definitely do not fault Klopfer for saying, you know what, Baron? You can hold off for a bit. We are going to see a potentially an Earth Crystal check with with shockingly that Earth Crystal. With Tower of Zot, that's 2 bosses, 2 characters, and a key item. So there's some potential value, especially since we're still looking for the best character in the game, Edward, of course.
Yeah, unless one of our runners can manage to complete the other 3 objectives first, Edward's going to be needed to get the crystal.
And there is always that hidden objective of have someone purchase an item only for themselves or someone else to find it for free later. There was curse rings available in Fabul, or you could have just gone into the Feymarch caves and just found the curse ring. I'm not sure if Guerin picked up the curse ring. I know EiKlopfer did. So that was actually some pretty good looting on Guerin's side. But
EiKlopfer is going to play everyone's favorite game.
I thought that was for Enterprise. He had seen him here.
Then you got a protect ring, some J items, including a kamikaze, Stardust Rod for food, an elixir with silver apple, power shirt. And EiKlopfer leaves most of it behind to avoid inventory ball struggles later on.
I'd call that health items out of 10, personally.
Yeah, the power shirt is going to be solid, especially if Cecil can finally find something better than a rune axe. That protect ring doesn't quite have the oomph that the crystal ring has, but it will protect against fire, ice, and lightning.
Not Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Not Earth, Wind, and Fire. Different Final Fantasy.
Also
And
different genre altogether.
Reminding us, as random as reminding us, Stardust Rod is going to be great. It's going to add 15 wisdom to whoever's holding it, so Fu's black magic is going to become much, much stronger.
It is the sellable sword equivalent of, Black Magical Burr now. More like Black Magical Boom!
You know, Phineas, I can't abide this mercenary attitude you have towards the best weapon.
Spoon? I can feel the glare coming from Commander.
I mean...
No, spoon is for being
Spoon's a good weapon. It does have...
and eating soup with it. And
Spoon does have the higher attack power than a crystal sword, but it doesn't give plus 15 to strength, which gives Cecil 2 extra swings.
It does give plus 15 for spooniness.
Man, what does spooniness do for something?
I don't know, but I can hardly contain my composure as soon as I see it.
Now, with all these free bosses, this could end up being a really rude shame if it
I hope it's not.
was. Most of us hope it's not.
Well, I can think of at least 2 people that hope it's very much haunted.
Yes, definitely. Absolutely. If I'm running this seed at this point, I am probably committing to a full clear of Earth because I'm afraid of this moon without having set foot on it. Hey, Nathaniel, I like it. See what you did there.
Hey! Oh.
Second Fu seems legit.
That is a lot of hair on this team.
Magnificence of the beards.
The 80s called, they want their band back.
You know, the way you want it, you still got to find that out.
It's like, yeah, you get all that hair and you just want to... What's it?
French vanilla as well.
CC Mop, I love it.
Well played. Well played. Guerin's taking a look at the mini treasury. Gonna have the same impact as the big treasury, but they're in the area. A couple of headbands. Side strength. Charm effects.
Odin.
Hey, Odin.
So I'd be a little more concerned about this fight if not for the fact that I just picked up a second food. Oh gosh, there's nukes.
In one nuke is enough.
So this has now become the
Bizarre happens, which it didn't. Yeah, we're done here. Double nuke, you don't fear very much. Like
Odin's like a
it's a matter
little
of getting
pill, and you just put it in the microwave.
right. So, let's see. The way this is set up, there are 13 character chips, right?
Yeah.
We have distinct 10 on. So that leaves us room for exactly three dupes. We've seen duplicate Fu and a duplicate Oza. Also, is this even? More tasty vanilla.
Hey, underground access. GG's.
Got to 5 now, I think. I approve.
It is pretty interesting that we're like, clearly the scene is telling us that our key objectives are being gated by probably rabbit holes, preferably the moon. I'd love to see something gated behind a D-Mist on the giant because we clearly don't have enough giant percent in our lifetime. But EiKlopfer is taking, well, Guerin's going up Tower of Zot and getting that fabulous news. EiKlopfer is taking the duo foos. I'm trying to think of puns on the spot, but I'm coming up dry. So yeah, we're going to Baron. We're gonna fight an alt gauntlet. It's gonna be great fun, and Fu is just gonna go Baron.
It's another character check here, and it's a key item check on the throne and another key item check in the basement. Like the play. Again, I would be sticking to Earth, and this is a great Earth check.
Yeah, me not being able to come up with a good pun is a massive faux pas.
Mania, this is what you've walked in on. I'm Commander Leonhardt. I'm here with Asuka, hunting it up in the booth, and I'm just playing the straight man. What I do.
I have caffeine in my system.
In summary, neither runner has made a moon dive. Darkness and Hook showed up fairly early. Both runners have handled the Hook route. Neither runner has set up Sheila 1. They both seem to be determined to find the pan. And we're still looking for a lot of things.
Yeah, and a quick side note, it seems like Kane has betrayed that second crew on Guerin's side. That second crew was taken. I'll be curious to see what their thoughts are on that.
At a guess, Guerin is perhaps not comfortable with reflect strats against Z.
I'd buy it.
Would prefer more hybrid berserker oriented. If you bring two foos, EiKlopfer, unless he finds one of Cecil's top tier weapons, is probably best off going full reflect Z with this party.
Oh, and the two most important stats to our wonderful Raider friends from Randomania that stopped by. 0 is the number of Edwards that have been found in the seed yet, which is tragic. And 0 is the number of crystal swords I've yelled at Commander to sell, which is all tragic.
And 5 is our vanilla count. We had a vanilla Cecil start, we had a vanilla Fu on the moon, We had vanilla dolls in Dwarf Castle. We had vanilla Baron guards in the inn. And what was the fifth one?
I don't know. We got a sock champ. We have a king from a different region taking over Baron for today. Is a shot.
Oh, this was the fifth one, the magma key. That's right. There it is.
Latin goes from shy noodle to bar noodle.
Yeah, Noodle, not long for this world. Like many bosses on the overworld, meet power of nuke. That will be it.
Yeah, but noodles don't taste great when they're microwaved. Can confirm.
True, but usually when you're using a microwave, you're not too worried about flavor, and like our speedrunners, you just want speed and efficiency.
Then why are you putting it in a micro? Hi! Boy.
There is the play.
No,
Word.
not a play. Bad Klopfer. This is a cursed seed. Okay. I normally don't like to wish ill.
And before spoon in the.
No, I like. Well, there better be a spoon, because I will go full sassy commentator with the snaps and everything. But in the meantime, that face.
I'm imagining the snaps in a Z.
Sell it! Sell it! Sell it! You sell it! You sell it right now!
This seed is blessed!
Your Honor! Sell the hacking, flipping seed is sword! No! Ben! Solaris! Solaris, no! Bad! That... I am sick! I don't like this game anymore! Destroyer on you, destroyer on your face, destroyer on your cow!
The second most powerful weapon in the game. Power well over 200, plus 15 to strength, 2 extra swings. Then a level 1 Cecil.
There are no points awarded, and
like 1,000
on your soul.
A leveled Cecil will do much better.
No! No.
And Klopfer making a good play here. Want to check Mirror Basement. You've got plenty of power. You don't want to forget about this check by flying away. Just get it out of the way now. And yourself, Mylon Z, who conveniently is incredibly weak to that crystal sword that was. You sound like you care a great deal.
Fupa! That's what. No burr, only microwave.
Chink. 9s. Amazingly, Solaris is not good.
Oh no! I think this is vengeance to for everybody in chat directed at me for some of the heckin' falls that I have rolled for people.
Oh, if Guerin with his cane makes his way to Baron Basement, that white spear will be a nice reward for him. Klopfer, on the other hand, we're just gonna sell it. Oh, that lightsaber skill imitation of the true power.
I have downgraded to raspberries at this point.
Just never did check miss. So gonna go there now. Looking for that deep.
Somebody check.
Thing is, though, is that we did find that Edward, but still need two other objectives, and we're starting to run low on key item checks on the Earth. Still have the Feymarch, that's been completely faded. And we still have Sheila 1. I'm just saying. No, I love vanilla, folks. But I am a huge fan of check your freebies, do your objectives. And I love nothing more than a vanilla pan as a runner, because I hope my opponents missed it. Oh, and Phineas, neither runner has checked Sheila 1.
And it probably has a spoon.
Could have a spoon.
Spooner,
First
right.
side. I've got a Crystal Sword Cecil. I've got double Fu casting Nuke. What on the moon could possibly stop me? Let's go. Boy. Thank you for the gift subs. Everybody, if you're here and a gift sub, please thank Pezboy. Enjoy having an airship or airships in flight and the wide variety of emotes are at your disposal now.
So
for going for up play, it takes a little longer to get set up because of the walk, but there's a higher concentration of key items down there, and with him needing so many, makes sense.
Ooh, the rare spear. Nice.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's what Kane showed up with. Well, it would have to be. There's no guess. It's junk. It would be transformed automatically into gold. Definitely very aggressive. On after a lot of checks, a lot of chests. That apple's going to be nice for someone.
You mean like that Edward?
I mean, sure. Oh, the PK chest has a cursed ring if you didn't have one already.
So on the bright side, we get to see one of the highest XP checks, most likely, coming out of Klopfer pretty soon with that Lunar, or the ribbon altar. It's a double chest, and I hope it's rude and not weak to holy swords.
Just weak to paladins in general.
Rough.
While Oscar recovers herself, Jay Brunter, thank you as well for the gift subs. If you're here and you just got a gift sub, please thank him as well. Enjoy. Go to the emotes. Oscar, have you recovered enough to explain why?
Okay, karate is weak to paladins, and after 2 kicks, all a paladin has to do is bonk the karate man, and he gets a pan, and he gets a required pink tail because he says ouch, and then he disappears. Yeah.
That's a heck of a ribbon room. Well, in hindsight, Cheeky moon dives. You can just keep that Cecil alive long enough. Suddenly you have a pan and an objective 3 and feeling pretty good. That could have been done a long time ago.
Yeah, honestly, I do not blame Klopfer for yeeting oneself off of the moon right now. That is a lot of KM checks right there.
You've got objective 3, and since you haven't done Sheila at all, you've got 3 item checks. If any of those 3 is heart, or you manage to find all of Forge within those checks, this is go mode.
And with the pass and with the sirens, yeah, it should be a fairly, hopefully, knock on Spoonward. Heck. Well, that's a sword. That's
Sheila 1.
Kane is happy.
Stands over a defense sword on Guerin's side. So enjoy there.
That's right. Guerin hasn't. Did Guerin do Oh, Guerin didn't do Baron yet. Okay, that makes sense.
No
Sorry,
Baron yet, but
my brain is so
that
fried
freebie.
right now from that horrible cursed part of this seed. It definitely did not pan out for me, did it?
No, afraid not. But that defense sword will look nice on Kane. It don't have a specific weakness you're going after. It's his best weapon. Would you like another power shirt, Klopfer? Probably. Guerin will appreciate a second power shirt. It's not the party you've been.
So let's see where we are going. Yep, we are.
If you're
Ooh, the
take care of the object. Yeah, that rude. If you're Klopfer, after you've done Hilo 2, and after you've taken care of your objective by trading away the Pinktail, you come back down to Earth and take care of some of the checks you faded, or are you back up to the moon?
Well, that's a tough one. I mean, there's more checks available on the moon, but the ones on the ground are a lot less scary. So I'd almost check that. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Not really.
Oh, but he resets out.
That could be interesting because I'm in a very kind and generous mood right now. I'm hoping for a demist there, and I am hoping for a key item. Blah.
I don't think we have any. Okay, he doesn't really have any chance. So, I take it back. We could have Twin Harp at D-Mist, and we could have a piece of the Forge at Cave Magnus. That's the one way that package could be required. Also, Solaris, seriously, stop flirting. I mean,
I have to do my inventory.
Whoever it is you're trying to impress, I mean, it's a 6 now. I missed one there. There we go.
I can count up to 500. Anything more than that, nope. Mornblade, you're right. I can only take so much time. But as Guerin settles down for the ever so fun alt gauntlet, there are a few different cheeky, interesting ways to take on Plague. And it's pretty much, well, you can go power overwhelming, or you can essentially have Plague keep casting count, or Zerk, or yeah, just do a few different things. So this one should be pretty straightforward, hopefully, but we'll see. Or
yeah,
just be done.
For a moon spot, there's not much HP. It's kind of power. You just go right
in. Okay. Oh no.
Just resets out of it
no.
too. Already has 10 key items, so it honestly the only value is the XP.
Oh, no. You walk that right back, Commander. You got your crystal sword, okay? And he didn't sell it.
What's he gonna do with the spoon? Can't
give
even throw
it to Best Boy. Let Best Boy do Best Boy things. I cry.
Remember how we were worried about this being a rude moon, everyone?
I want to go home.
This moon was gonna be? Not so much, it turns out. Roddy at Ribbon, Plague at Plague, Bahamut at Masamune. Granted, when you have Crystal Sword Cecil and Double Fu, touch is really rude, but like,
there'll be no living with you after this.
Why is the rum ball?
Because the spoon is gone! And the Eddie's gone!
Runners have done to you. It's trying his best, Solaris.
And I was nice earlier because Klopfer checked the job dwarf, and we got the yeah, it's the adamant. It's a rock. That's cool. They checked the job dwarf.
Forge.
They were baby face, and then they went heel. They went completely heel.
And fans love to hate a good face heel turn.
Sad panda. Or sorry,
Cobber! Cobber!
sad bard noises. Oh, I'm afraid to see what Guerin's gonna do now.
I'd offer to hold your hand through this check, but
Oh, I'm trying to plan something terrible and rip microphone user, rip headset users. That's the word. I just have to try to balance my controller between my legs as I hold the button down.
definitely try it out, Gilgamesh.
There we
A lot of fun. There's a Discord, all sorts of information about the seed, and plenty of people that are happy to share what we know of. So much fun.
This is what I have to say to that. Sad bar noises.
As you might have noticed, some of us have very strong opinions about certain characters, and honestly, the best part is that each character has their own use. Some more often than others. But there's no character that's completely useless.
Well, sell it, please. Please, Guerin.
Not gonna happen.
Austin, did my ocarina
Guerin.
come through? Did you get the actual sad bar noises? I'm asking, did you hear the ocarina? Okay, thank you, chat.
Did you hear the ocarina? There we go, chat. Thank you. Bulbas has gone through his summoning of the Shadow Dragon, and there's another boss that would be ruder to a less powerful party, but simply is not going to be around.
But interesting check on Guerin.
Guerin,
They are going to march.
Projecting the moon, heading to the Fey March. Only thing we've seen a pink tail and an adamant up there, so we know that not only is the moon not haunted, it's required. At most, Guerin can find a twin harp on Earth to get objective one. So that moon trip's going to have to happen at some point.
Tell me why ain't nothing but a heart. That's what Golbez was asking.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why. I never
why.
hear you say, but I want it Bard's way.
We're probably going to make these last two checks. He just went down to Earth, reset back to the safe he held on the moon immediately when checks didn't give him what he was looking for. So he will have to turn that pink tail back in at some point.
Tybal, I thought about that. I wanted to do that, but yeah. I missed that word! Anyway, Ruby.
After that Rubicon, again, I'll be fine.
Now,
Real.
with Ruby, when Ruby is being a shy leg and you don't get to see a leg, uh, you can't use ice attacks against it, because you will be doing Ruby a service and healing him. However, nuke works, period. And so does a King of Dragons. It's not a dragon as well.
Anything that's not elemental works just once again. So the primary threat of the Magic Sisters is the spells being used. But for a moon spot, this spot has some abysmal magic. Look at that. 40 damage. Oh, this moon could have been so rude, and it's just so disappointing. Disappointing for our runners. For definitely relieved how well this moon is paid off and how much less than intimidating.
Well, what's interesting is it has the potential to be rude. It's just where the bosses are showing up.
Right. You move this boss down to the Masamune altar where Bahamut is, and this party will even respect that kind of spell. Instead, there was a Bahamut there that couldn't take advantage.
So my apologies to everybody that hears my cat scratch attempt at quote-unquote singing in that clip. Thank you, Scala.
I mean...
So,
if they can put up with my singing, they can put up with yours.
So the Leviathan spot was defeated from Guerin, but the actual summon was picked up at the Pale Dim altar from EiKlopfer, because logic. It's like the Leviathan orb used the warp spell.
By that. We're not making it through the Ruby fight, and over to the orb instead. Gets the float bounce. Nice. Not where he wanted it.
Today, leg day was a little bit too powerful for Guerin.
Guerin's trying to do is get the float. Wait. I'm wrong. Let's talk about CPU. This correctly. Float bounce hit the attacker.
Oh, it hit. Oh, okay. So, here's the thing. Orbs, yes, they look like they're floating. It lies to you because Final Fantasy IV things. Also, I'm going to from yesterday, but they're not floating. So, you can really cheese this fight if you get really lucky. You cast Wall on yourself, and then you cast Float to have it bounce off the wall. If you're lucky, that float will hit the attacker. That makes the attacker completely immune to the quack. And you can actually fight CPU with magic because Quake bypasses any wall that CPU likes to put up, which in turn makes this fight effectively free. So nice luck on Guerin's side with that CPU. I think I did that right.
We're using the stat.
Did I do the thing? I think I did the thing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
By the explain the CPU fight correctly, yes.
Da 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 da.
EiKlopfer has the real fight in K value. Lugai, poison everybody up. Attacks here. Beam is going to deal 1/10 of the maximum HP. Counters every damage with sleeping gas. A lovely laser that's good for, I believe, 20% of his current HP. And a little bit of fire damage.
Okay.
Nice mix. Do you like another Leviathan orb? One's French vanilla.
But I had dinner. I don't want any more noodles. Especially.
We have a Bahamut. We don't really need noodles now.
too tough and chewy. Oh my, okay, no,
Is
no, no,
this
no,
even?
no.
7 vanilla.
You weigh the same as chickens and lead and bread and very small rocks. You are a witch. You turned me into a newt. I did not get better. Oh.
They know living with her.
No! Well, unless you want to finance that by selling the crystal sword. I'm shaking my spoons at everybody.
Little crystal sword is with Oscar.
Oh, crystal sword, how lovely are your branches. Welcome. And I say that with pure malice in my voice. And a glare that causes my dog to look at me funny. Speaking of Bahamut summons.
Yes, getting through that cloak, because non-elemental damage, the cloak does not protect against it. Every fight, you eat a fire 2 count, though. So the magic here isn't too overwhelming, so really the punch, the glare that's the issue.
And as our runners,
I regret nothing, Gambit.
I regret a few things in this seed, Gambit. Anywho, while they are high-fiving each other, again, shout out to people behind the scenes, like Solaris, who rolled an Edward and a spoon and neither runner took it. But yeah, he's doing a lot of the restreaming and does a lot of work behind the scenes. Tyble for their first time tracking, and there are a lot of buttons lit up, so kudos to that. I guess you can give some follows and some love to Commander, even though he doesn't want to finance his next extension. And if you want to know more about the Enterprise,
I'd definitely give a follow to Oscar.
Just expect spoony bards. Ooh!
Speech! Oh my god, what the speech?
You know, picture if you've ever been to a showing of The Room. Yes, the Tommy Wiseau film, The Room. I've seen it in theaters like 4 times. Everyone has plastic spoons, and there are certain times where you wave them at the screen.
Lunar behind that angry Ruby gives EiKlopfer go mode. Just needs to turn in a pink tail, get whatever the reward is there. Play us music from DJ Spoony Bard, hit the crystal, and is probably ready to take that pass straight up to Z.
I believe it. I swear if this is Zelda music. please don't let it be Zelda music.
So, I'm hoping for FF8 music, of course. I'd also be happy to hear new music. There's been a lot of new music.
I know there's a Xenogears song in here. I'll take it. It's a ninja blade, but it's an objective.
This is looking rough for Guerin, no doubt about it. We're gonna have to get up to the moon and get one of those key items. Living room would be the best bet. Coming in with a paladin, get that, but Upper would have to struggle for a while with Z.
No, Tyble. No. No. I'd rather have Zelda music. I should say the backstory for that. I roll so
Scala,
much
question.
music, and I don't really know much of anything about Zelda.
I don't know if you were here for the very beginning of the broadcast, Scala, but I have an official witch hat if the music is the opera theme from FF6.
Oh, jeepers. At least we get to see sick bard doing happy bard things. You can't escape the bard.
Yes, Punivart.
The bard is angrily playing the harp because knows where the spoon is. So he's glaring at you the whole time, like I am, Commander. But
well, you're just gonna have to
staircase
there because, as is traditional, when we reach this point, we hear in the comms booth quiet so that we can all enjoy the lovely tunes.
Endless staircase, please. Do 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 spoon do 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 do. Yes, boy, I'm sorry they abandoned you. I still love you, Eddie.
Still love you too, Eddie.
And I'm sorry he didn't sell that crystal sword. He knows better. That's cheeky.
Chat's letting us know that music is from the NES Batman game, the very first level, a recent addition.
Oh, wow.
And wow, okay. So we have a required twin harp, best twin harp, as another objective is behind it.
But on the flip side, with Guerin not having the pigtail or the adamant, that is catastrophic. Absolutely catastrophic, because we know where everything is, and this check is going to come up empty.
Unfortunately. Just a sand room.
And the nice thing is with that pass is all EiKlopfer has to do is walk over to Troya and, well, get Rosa some apples, because an apple a day keeps the bike or the Lugia away.
That's what they tell me. Never seems to work. There are some flags showing up in chat. I see them. I have a letter with a punctuation mark. What's going on here, Asuka?
I need like a half-hour nap to process the lack of Spoony Bard on this team. So I'm gonna.
Sleep time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But we can't really move Zoromus. Zoromus is a big bad boy that does big bad boy things, and we don't want to put him somewhere weird. So Z stays where Z is, does Z things in the void, but what we do is we change Z's appearance. And there is not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not 525, but there are 526 different sprites for Z. But we don't know what it is until they walk up. So there's one particular question that we need to ask what those flags are referring to. Commander?
Whose butt are we gonna kick tonight?
I swear if this is Zero Ward.
I was thinking the same thing, not gonna lie. Like, forgiveness. I'm not gonna lie.
Zero Ward being the only
Very loud double squeak. Hers will be, yeah.
I think Zero Ward is still the only one that doesn't have Muss at the name. It is because Eddie is a special boy that gets special privileges. And Zero. So but today's button will be played today by... You know what? I accept
this.
I accept this. This is acceptable. Now
Okay.
I have a machine gun. Ho ho ho.
I've seen this before, but I don't know where this is from.
I also suddenly really wish that one of the foos was Santa Foo.
That would be appropriate, yes. Red Road Foo, where are you? Duke Nukem Nuclear Winter. Thank you, Scott.
You know, Solaris is pointing out a very interesting fact in that this Santa, for it not being anywhere near Christmas time, this Santa Z is going a little fast. So that is a potential anchor issue with Sid. I mean, Sid plus a curse ring and maybe plus a Dwarvax might just be at slightly incorrect agility.
Could be. Could just be a little bit of delay with the inputs as well. That'll make things go faster.
But yeah, with a double nuclear mop and Cecil,
Say it.
Sword.
Say it.
Cecil with a sword that should have been sold for money. Because even though capitalism has not corrupted space yet, this is not space, this is the void. It doesn't count.
Looks kind of like space to me.
It's the void. Sell the sword.
EiKlopfer bouncing nukes off of walls to make sure that Santimus doesn't use any of the nasty counters that he has to magic. Big Bang coming in.
That was a
One mop down. Standing. Mop with the wall is standing. Probably the most important.
Well, we're definitely not wrong there. And plus that second foo, since they have just a few points less HP, plus their, well, their armor isn't quite as good, so that mop keeps, well, taking the brunt of those big bangs. That being said, with the HP totals on this team, not too worried. Meanwhile, we are frying up some eggs over on Guerin's side, doing a pretty quick grind on that wall. Ow.
Wall wore off.
Yeah, that's
or was it a black hole?
Either way,
the wall is gone.
You never want to put yourself in the microwave. That's a bad thing.
You don't. But honestly, it's fine. Our couple should be able to stand up to these big bangs. Cecil should be able to finish the round. And in fact, we have rocks. It's the last phase. Power rocks as Zoromus is running out of power. And
that means Klopfer has defeated Z. Their Santa is, well, giving himself coal in his stocking with an official time of 1 hour, 41 minutes, 35 seconds. Let's keep seeing those GGs in chat for Klopfer, and we will see if they would like to do an interview with us. Speaking of...
And sure enough, we are joined by Klopfer.
Hi, good evening. GG's.
Why no Spoony Bomb?
If the spoon comes up earlier, I'll go that route, but it didn't line up properly this time around.
No, it really didn't. I love a spoon word as much as almost everybody, but it really wasn't the time. You had a very strong party by the time you found Edward for the objective, and then you got the best sword around immediately afterward. I had to feel good.
Yeah, I was definitely happy to see because my Cecil at that point was still running Runax, I believe, so he really wasn't doing all that much work up to that point. So luckily the foos were carrying up to that point. I was really happy to see that crystal sword as I was thinking around that point what the Zoromus fight was going to look like, and 2 foos is okay, but I was probably gonna have to get Rosa up to white to be able to go for quick enough reflex strats.
Yeah, and it was pointed out in the chat that that Z looked very fast. What was your battle speed? Was there like, or was it just, oh, here we go?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised it was that fast as well. That first big bang came out much sooner than I expected. I didn't have silk webs and I did find where those were, so I cast 1 slow and then was having to bounce off the 2nd slow. Potentially just the order in which I was doing things. I threw up the Star Veil first and then cast slow, as opposed to maybe queuing up the slows first before bringing up the Star Veils. So it could just be the slow didn't come up all that quickly. But yeah, I was running there on battle speed 1. That should be relative agility because my Sid there was wearing both a curse ring and a dwarf axe, so he was very slow. But yeah, once it got past that first big bang, things felt a little more in control. Until I nuked my own foo. Sorry about that, foo. You did so much work that seed. But
Yeah, it happens.
Yep.
What were your like overall thoughts on that seed? I know we went a while without seeing like objective key items, and then all of a sudden, here is this almost straight line of them. Have fun.
Yeah. Well, so Solaris, when rolling the seed, promised he'd do his best to not give us a 17 out of 17 seed. And to be fair, I did only get 16 of the key items. So, thank you, Solaris. you kept your promise there. But yeah, the seed overall, definitely the start felt. I wasn't super happy with how things were going at the start. I went ahead, did that Upland Cave dip, going, well, there's generally very good loot here. There's the shop I can check. If I don't get anything good from the treasure chest, probably the weapon and armor shop will have something, and maybe the character will be good. And all of that was a bust. So I felt I just wasted quite a bit of time here. I was feeling not too great, but the heroin robe in the antlion cave made me feel a little better, and then the seed was off to start at that point finally. Having seen that hook, I knew I just wanted to check everywhere on the overworld. Just, you don't want to early go that hook route and then find out a magma key was waiting, at Fabul. So I just went ahead and checked all of that, saw I was committed to doing the hook route, but did find that darkness crystal, and I knew there was the lunar boss waiting at the end of the hook route, which might have been kind of rude, which prompted me to go ahead and turn in that darkness crystal to see what the character was, and having that food made me feel quite safe on whoever I had to run into up there. I had already seen Pale Dim, I believe, and it shouldn't have been Wyvern, because that was the only way underground, unless Demas was hiding somewhere really out of the way, and I just didn't look there. So I was, as long as it wasn't Ogo, that note rope, I was like, okay, this should go all right. and sure enough, it was the Lunars. So great. Immediately planned to do the Lunar Frogs. Got that off without really any problem, and then it was just took a bit of time to chew through all that HP, but it was a safe fight.
Yeah, it was pretty much every fight that you did. It was pretty clinical. A few hiccups you were able to recover from pretty quickly. So looked like a really solid run. So GG's on that.
Yeah, thanks. It definitely helps having Usoya. He has pretty much everything you want for every situation, especially once you've unlocked all those spells. So really, any boss I walked into, I was like, I have the tools to handle this one. Which also didn't make me too concerned about going to the moon. I was still somewhat lowish level. But it's like, I can probably take on these bosses. And if not, I also have the tools to grind if I need to. So let's just go and see what we find up there.
Yeah, we had thought the moon might turn out to be rude after seeing so many free bosses early, but that just wasn't the case. Even bosses that could have been rude, like Magus Sisters, managed to fall off into a spot that wasn't that threatening.
Yep, really. Luckily, I got kind of all the bosses in those right spots. That really high HP spot with the D-Lunars. Oh, Karate Man, and I have a Paladin. Easy.
Right?
Easy to do. I was a little more concerned about Gopez until I remembered the magic power at that spot. I'd already gotten the walls up at that point. But I'm like, I didn't need to do any of that because this really isn't hitting hard enough. So yeah, really, those were some rude bosses, but luckily they just all happened to fall into the right spots. Although it turned out only the first place I did was my required check. That gave me my pigtail. I found some other items like the adamant, but I didn't end up having to use any of those. So the pigtail was good. The pan, which I went and turned in quickly. I'm not sure if you saw, I had a small pause there as I looked at the key items I had remaining to see if I had any chains. And when I saw I really didn't,
Yes.
I'm like, let's just turn in the pan, because if this is the twin harp, I'm good. I'll just go. But it wasn't. So I just took the reset and came back to the moon and checked every other spot.
And so right now you're 1 and 2. You're still in the running. You live to fight another week. Are you going to prep for it a little bit differently? Just kind of stay the course and then see who your opponent is and go from there? Like, how are you approaching next week?
For sure. Definitely, I want to practice a bit more. Not feeling super comfortable at 1 and 2. I'd like to get a good record there, so I really feel the pressure already and not wanting to drop any other races. So I think I definitely will be ramping up my practice. I think the main thing I'll be doing is just taking some of those async seeds to come out, race those, be able to, compare myself against the other runners. And if I seem to be falling really far behind, hopefully see maybe there's some odds of what they did, and I can see learn some lessons from that, see what I need to pick up to really improve my times.
Yeah,
Okay, great plan. Everyone loves a good rally story, a good comeback story. Best of luck. And
I definitely will do my best on that.
Brings it in from Owens.
There's a Cinderella story in every single tournament, and we're rooting for you. Even though you got rid of Edward and kept the Crystal Sword, we're still rooting for you.
I'll do my best to keep him in any future flags. Just give me the spoon first, and then I'll promise it will happen.
Fair. Yeah, with that, again, GG's on the race. Fantastically done, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Thanks a lot. GG's everyone. Thanks all to the commentary team and just the entire also admin team for the entire league. It's a lot of fun. And I know it takes a lot of work, so very appreciative for all the work that goes into that.
Okay, they are.
Thank you for thank you for agreeing to be restreamed and putting on a good show for us. You just get to share, have fun, talk about it.
No problem. It's fun running too.
Agreed. And speaking of running, we do have Guerin taking on Dr. Louis in the behind the cave value spot, which is always a fun little fight. We got to see multiple forms of Dr. Louis there with the Ball Z, which I like to call the robot chicken because it's totally a robot chicken. Don't take that from me.
I would not try to take anything from you with this one.
Yeah, that's a smart play right now.
Guerin did, during the interview, follow up on Twin Heart, take care of that, found the D-Mist, checked the D-Mist for a key item, only got a crystal ring, and is now heading up to the moon. And we know that Guerin can find Go mode either by taking out Karate and getting the pink tail, or getting a hold of the adamant down at the very bottom by taking on Bahamut. Top down, not the play here.
And the obligatory second dose of vanilla from Walt. But yeah, the nice thing is those two fights, as we mentioned, they look mean and bad and evil and scary, but with the bosses there, it actually kind of just works out for the team. Ooh, Poison Walk, woo! And
visual poison. There is an option to turn off flash effects, and it will get rid of that blur on the poison.
I have
The
walked.
side is that when you beat Z, you just have to listen for shake.
I have legitimately walked the entirety of the Feymarch caves with Poison Walk on, and that was before I even got there. Because I just was like, okay, I can't.
My eyes.
Like, this is the thing that exists in this seed now. So I'll be curious to see where Guerin goes. I mean, it's really if you go top up, cool. If you go bottom down, cool. Hopefully, Guerin will be finding that awesome news in the very near future.
Looks like Guerin's gonna go top down. Gonna find the Magic Sisters here. And what was here? Was it even a key item, or was it just shiny treasure? Oh, right. Where the spoon was. Oh no, this is not where the spoon was. Thank you, Tybalt. This was the Leviathan orb. Spoon was down at Spear Altar? Behind the Plague? Yes, that's right. Spoon's at White Spear. Adamant is at Masamune. Tail and Pan are at the Ribbon Room. And Ha had Hanzo Steel, I think. If Guerin goes top down, we'll be finding out what Golbez has soon enough, because not going to pose a problem to this party any more than it posed a problem to EiKlopfer, most likely.
Better not be another.
Showing off an AoE spell, penetrating the wall, getting extra damage with multiple targets, getting through this Magic Sisters in a hurry.
And yay, more rocks.
Orb.
There's so much Rydia stuff. Hey, Guerin. Oh, you're doing a thing.
Yeah, exit out and go back in. Some people will just walk there. It's a very slim difference, I think, especially if you don't walk perfect, as to whether you're faster off walking or exiting out and hopping back.
Commander. Title has a very interesting point in chat if you'd like to talk about it.
Yes, it is almost the full vanilla team. The party that you finished the game with in the vanilla game is Cecil, Rosa, Lydia, Kane, and Edge. We haven't found an Edge. We have a Fu instead.
I almost started talking and then I started coughing. That would have been a very rip headphone users. But at the same time, I'm not muted yet. Okay.
They understand where I'm putting it. Now, it's always a struggle when you have the darkness. How early do you go? How hard do you commit to Earth? I mentioned beforehand, like, if I had been running this race against EiKlopfer, I'd probably lose it. Because I probably would commit to the full Earth play, same as Guerin did, and don't get up to the moon until Klopfer says, "Oh, I'm done."
I'd lose because I'm bad at this game.
Love you, Oscar.
That wasn't a denial, Commander.
I don't have time to argue with that. I'm certainly not here.
But on the bright side, we get to put that.
Making the right play.
Yep. So we get to see that. Hopefully, as long as everything's all good, we get to see that pink tail coming out on Guerin's side.
Yep.
Guerin will know that.
Guerin. When he knows the out strats, sitting on Cecil's turn until the second kick goes out. On swing, right over.
And there it is.
Gets his go mode, and you can be on your way, Guerin.
I just saw a level 62 character in that party. I'm here for it.
Guerin scrambled a lot of eggs before going to Twin Heart to get ready to nuke, and that's just going to get other people levels.
Come on, I'm here for it.
Yeah?
Yeah, maybe that's why the second Fupa was Notebud. Iridia with summons and, well, a spot on the team and nuke. Also, Commander, fun fact that I like saying now, did you know you could exit the right side of the whale?
Do know. There are 2 exits. Suppose the other one could be an entrance, except you never enter. You always enter. So, not sure what's up.
Let me tell you something. Anybody that can consistently pick up the hovercraft at full speed without slowing down the Enterprise uses more Wolf's Math than relative agility. Because heck.
Just watch some of the really good speedrunners of the vanilla pool. You don't have a button to slow down the airship, and you're wanting to make those pickups picture perfect.
Ugh. That just sounds terrible.
The pigtail has gotten the true Hanzo steel and a crystal. Head on back to Troya and take on Zoromus.
Yeah, with these levels on this party, that should be a pretty straightforward fight. I don't see too many pressing concerns. I'm curious what the agility is on the anchor. I know Guerin has cursed rings, depending on which character. Oh, it's a food that's 62. Okay.
Well, if he curses the Foo anchor, that should get him down to 5 agility, which is a perfectly fine number. But also shuffle a character whose agility is near 28 or even 42 to the anchor spot. For reasons that require more math than I'm willing to do at this point, that's a good number to have on your anchor for Zoromus.
Yeah, this seed broke me. Don't expect me to do math.
But Solaris is right. You never want to take Zoromus for granted. Zoromus has a way of punishing you when you do, but Solaris is not wrong. You don't need to be perfectly accurate to deal with Zoromus when you have this kind of thing.
You know what would make the team even better?
Spoonward.
Spoonward! And for the low price of 20 GP, you too can sponsor a Spoonie Bard. Someone get some sad music going.
Solaris, at this power, we might not see more than a nerf, and that initial nerf Big Bang.
Yeah.
And if you do get full on Big Bang, usually if you're hammering away with the Spoonward and other support, probably close to that.
Because you can do special strats and like 1200 and heady strats and mage strats and zerk strats, or you can just go in with big mood levels and big mood damage and big kill scene.
Nothing wrong with the direct approach.
Yeah, who would win in a fight? One spoony boy or one stabby boy?
Who's the stabby boy?
Really? Really, Commander? Think about it. You should have thought about it by now. Who do you think is the stabby boy?
Normally, like Spoony Boys, Edward. Stabby boy, I think of Ems. Stabby Ems! Stabby Ems!
No crystal sword for you, then. Come on, old man, get with the program.
Old man.
Yeah. What's up?
I tell you. Counter nukes going after Kane, who is not known for his magic defense, but still shrugs it off and says, I'm still ticking. Vessel going burr. Not even the berserk already landing. Almost 5k.
Commander ignoring his commentator partner now.
Vanity rude. Guerin hasn't forfeited. It's carried on through. I'm going to see this to the finish, which, as others have dubbed me as the captain of Team Never Forfeit, I definitely appreciate it. So, you should definitely take a look at the fight.
I'm not gonna lie, seeing 203 and I'm thinking, oh wow, that's a fast time for me, but hashtag I'm bad, so. So for me, this is still a very fast time.
Zoromus is shaking, threatening another big bang, but if Guerin can get to the refill point of the script before then, we won't see it. The whole deal with that is that programmers wanted Zoromus to have more hit points than they could actually program into an enemy. So they have him refill his hit points part of the way through and start over with a new phase. And if you get him to tip into the new phase, you get a little more time before he gets around to charging up another thing. And it looks like that's what's happened here.
And there is the next big bang, and that should be pretty survivable for just about 3 people.
Yes. Not for Mop, as it turned out, and not for Radio. Good enough for Power Couple and their afflicted friend.
Do you notice we have the Power Rangers here? We have very singular color palette characters.
It's true. You're not wrong. I don't remember an Orange Ranger, though.
Cat Ranger from Power Rangers SPD. What's up? I have lost.
What?
It's like you just the confused disgust.
No disgust. No disgust.
Just disappointment, probably.
No, I do not hate on people's fandoms. There's a lot of different things to appreciate in fandom. And you should not tear down things that are. Be they Crystal Sword Paladins, be they Spoon Words, be they Orange Rangers. Celebrate!
And to be honest, Cat Ranger is pretty awesome.
Not gonna lie, that does sound awesome.
her uniform is orange and white with black stripes, kind of like the stripes that the Meteor makes as it comes down. We do have falling rocks, and we do have a flash, crack, and pop. With that, Guerin has defeated Santimus at least, with the final time of 2 hours, 6 minutes, and 22 seconds. Get those GGs out once more in chat for Guerin, and we will see if they will join us in this wonderful place we call a restream booth.
Man, sounds kind of dangerous in here. I don't understand. But hopefully they will. Really their choice. Never required to hop in for an interview.
I still have caffeine in my system, so it's okay. There we go.
And we are.
Been joined by Guerin. GG's for that awesome race. I don't know about you, Commander. I cannot.
No.
Let's try again.
Hello.
There we go. I've been there, Guerin. I understand.
200, you are here. Hi.
Hi. Sorry, first time using the mic in God knows how long.
No worries. No worries. Glad you're here. So, that was an experience. You did what I would have done, Guerin, faced with the choices. I too would have committed to an Earth Clear. It just this time didn't roll out for you this way.
No, pretty sure I was toast when I saw Yang over there at the ribbon room. It's like, ah.
Yeah, that hurts.
It's definitely one of those checks where it's so deep into the LST. To put the chances for seeing that type of boss and that type of team setup, it's like it makes sense that you didn't make that choice. I wouldn't have made that check. I'd still be like halfway through the seed right now. So, like, I think you did fantastically.
I was feeling pretty good until I hit Rubicant over there, and then that felt I was pretty behind after that.
Well, it is about the time you fell behind, though not really for Rubicant. Klopfer checked the moon before you did and cleared out most of it. You ended up at Ruby about the same time and got the twin harps not too far. The difference is that Klopfer had already gotten a hold of Adamant from the moon as well as the Pinktail. So twin harp was go mode for him.
So he probably didn't have to do Bear and all those gauntlets, did he?
Both of you did, actually. And both of you said no to an Eddie.
Asuka's still recovering from that, but you know.
I hadn't seen the spoon yet. Why would I take him?
It doesn't make me feel better.
Asuka has feels about Eddie. It's an Asuka thing.
It is. But
I guess you didn't like my name.
Sword out of the den. I mean, I thought it was great. You got a paladin. He'd been rocking a rune axe, and now you have a crystal sword, and you're ready to go.
It's okay. I'm used to it. But yeah.
Hey, last test I ran, I did Eddie all the way through. It was pretty fun.
There you go.
There you go. And actually, what was very interesting, you'll enjoy seeing this on the VOD. You two are pretty much rubber banding back and forth for the first half of the run. I mean, there was divergence, and then you two would flip flop, and then there was divergence again, and you'd flip flop, and you two were pretty much in step, like not lockstep, but in different spot lockstep.
Absolutely, it was close. It's exactly as Asuka described, and it really only diverged when Klopfer gave up on Earth and went to the moon.
Yeah, I was debating, but I figured I wanted to get 10 cabs, and that was the wrong choice.
It's just one of those things where it's rando gonna rando.
Yeah.
Hey, at least it wasn't 17 to 17 like the last two seeds were. Hey.
Solaris apparently promised that you would not face a 17 out of 17, and he was as good as his word.
But Unfortunately, though, with that third loss, you are mathematically eliminated from the tournament. What, like,
Well,
what, or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe my math is wrong.
eliminated from moving on to brackets, but
Right.
still to play out your remaining 3 matches.
And
You're
you,
not banned
you
from
now
this.
have the fun privilege of being the heartbreaker. So, right.
My
So-
goal is to win 1 game in this Swiss round, so we'll see.
Nice. So will you are you gonna look at it differently now? Or are you gonna just look at your opponent and be like, oh, you're that's gonna be fun? Like, how are you gonna move forward into next week?
Probably gonna sleep quite a bit.
I don't blame you.
Valid. Sleep's helpful.
But yeah, all in all, like, any thoughts on or additional thoughts on this seed, the league entirely, finding crystal swords in the trash where it belongs, that kind of good stuff.
That's been pretty fun so far. I mean, I pretty much tried to do it for a little bit of fun. I didn't think I was really going to get very far in it because I haven't played it a whole lot yet, but yeah, one of these days.
I mean, even so though, it's, again, your time was amazing. Like, there, I can't knock that time. You, if it was you versus me, you would have kicked my butt at least 5 times over. So, but yeah, it was
And-
great doing it.
And the biggest thing, sounds like you're having a lot of fun with it, and that's what we're all really here for. So,
It is my favorite game of all time, so yeah, I enjoy it.
there you go.
And that's what matters. Yeah, I'm
Wishing
good.
you a lot more fun with your next 3 races and just with playing this game in general. Have anything else you wanted to say to us about the seed, or any last thoughts?
No, I mean, it was a pretty good seed. I just made some bad choices, but other than that, it was a blast.
Like I said, we had a blast watching you. So again, GG's on
Definitely.
this day, and we're looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'll see you guys next week.
Take care. Get some of that sleep.
Right? Sounds fantastic. But yeah, with that, Commander, not only did we survive, well, they survived, we didn't get banned or muted! Yay!
Not sure how, but not complaining. I had a great time. Laris, thanks for rolling us up an entertaining seed with so much tasty vanilla. Tybalt, thanks for getting all of the buttons lit up. And Asuka, thank you for joining me here on comms. Hopefully, I haven't annoyed you too much.
Well, yeah, it was enjoyable. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Again, give some love to everybody. Solaris, Tybalt, Klopfer, Guerin. Follow them. Follow Commander too. They're all great people. If you have any questions or want to join in on things, definitely check out our Discord. We have a lot of great friendos there that you can hang out with, ask questions to, learn more about the league. And yeah, but with that, just because it's, well, Commander's currently in the future right now. He's an hour ahead of me. So it's Saturday for him and it's Friday for me. I almost said Sunday because I'm that just my
Happy Sunday.
brain is done. It'd be funny if it was. But with that, so we're not done with Free Enterprise.
Oh.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. So we are actually going to be heading to Denari. They are doing some league practice. But as always, we have spoilers. Don't spoil it. You spoil it.
The Bob.
The bog. I will roll up my paper.
You can say it was a great race. You can say you should watch it. But no details. I'd like to come watch the VODs. That being said, thanks for joining us. Let's go cheer Denari on during the practice.
Nighty night.